Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to another process video. And today I'm working on day 25 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And I am working with the beautiful, simple, vintage woodland collection from Simple Stories. And I bought this collection for the little guy that I am currently documenting his pictures of. So he is a big outdoors kiddo, loves being outside, loves being in the woods. And so I saw this collection and I had to get it. So it's got obviously a very heavy woodland theme. It's got like mushrooms and butterflies and florals and, some little creatures like a fox. So really good kind of mix of things in there. So I love the colors on them because it's very, kind of muted colors. So greens and browns and some oranges, yellows kind of mixed in there. So I thought perfect product for some boy layouts. So anyway, this is the first time I'm working with it. And so I am just building up my clusters here. So the background paper is kind of like wood with kind of a cluster up at the top right. I cut it in half or cut it down. And I think that paper had like another cluster on like the lower left. So there were a cluster up in the right and down on the left. So just split that paper in half, put it on top of the fern paper as my background paper. And then I'm just working with some different elements here and their different ephemera packs. So I've got die cut pieces. I do end up working some brads on this layout, some labels, things like that. So the boots, that's a circle journal tag, and I don't think I end up journaling on it at all. I don't know that I will use it as journaling. I just liked it tucked in there. And then I'm going to work some different floral pieces on here. I really don't embellish this layout too much. So from the sketch, you had like kind of a cluster of embellishments up in the left upper hand corner of your layout, and then the three clusters, I believe, around your picture. So I'm going to work in a couple floral pieces here, a fern, of course. I thought these little curly cute guys I guess it's supposed to be part of a fern, were really cute, but I just couldn't figure out a good spot for it. So I'm trying to figure out what to put up here to kind of make that cluster look 3D without taking away from it, because it was a pretty cluster up there. And I go through the sentiments to figure out what I want for my title, and I see happy outdoors and I'm like, that's perfect. Like, I didn't even have to hardly go. I end up going through it just to see if there was something else I wanted, but like that hands down was going to be my title. I pop up a chipboard flower piece over. So there was actually a flower on that tag up there, but I popped that chipboard piece up over that flower just to make it more 3D and kind of add a little bit something else to that frame up there, or label. I'm going to go ahead and start getting everything into here down. And see, you can see how pretty that paper is with that kind of wood grain on it. Really pretty. So yeah, definitely had like some hiking kind of feel to it, but really there were even pieces in there that if it was like you were traveling, like they had compasses and things in it. So I think it's kind of a really good layout or, collection for if you were traveling, taking hikes, things like that. So. And this label down here, I just thought was really cute for a cluster down there. Kind of made it simple for me, so I didn't have to build up a cluster, because I really felt like it was pretty much, already built up for me. So. And I'm going to get this first picture down here because that was really close to the edge of the page. I had to be real careful with where I put my picture, just so then that way I could get most of that bottom label down there, kind of where I wanted it, how I wanted it to be seen. So. And then since I like the placement, I'm just going to put the adhesive right down on that paper and then just fold the picture back. So. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I take a pause. I was watching Criminal Minds, so I don't know if there was something that I was watching that it kind of caught my attention, or I might have been getting on my computer to like get it off a screensaver so I could refer back to the sketch. I don't know. I was doing something there. Now, the fox I put there, it's a chipboard piece, and I put that there because, so each of us in the family has like an animal, a spirit animal, I guess you could call it. So my oldest, there was a lot of issues with the pregnancy. I've talked about it in probably another video or two, but so I had been working on owls for his nursery, and when we got some bad news, I had stopped working on them, and then when we got good news again, I had started working back on the owls. So that's kind of been his animal, and we always said he was an old soul and like real wise, like an old owl. So that's become kind of his animal. And William got pictured, one of his newborn pictures, he was in a fox outfit, so it was really cute. But he's sly and cunning and fast, and a little elusive like a fox. And it was funny because when we were on our way to the hospital to have William, he was a month early. My other son was 2 months early. And because there were so many issues with him with the first one, I was really nervous going in to have William. And it just so happened that on the way to the hospital, an owl flew down in front of the truck on the way to the hospital. So I kind of took that as like a sign. So anyways, that's why I put the fox down there. Long story short, or short story long, I guess. And I do really like the fact that it's looking up at him, and they kind of feel like they're looking in kind of the general direction, kind of like something caught their attention. So to build up that cluster up there, because I wasn't wanting to cover up the flowers, there was kind of like a little gap there. So I ended up pulling on those binoculars, and I think that was actually a chipboard sticker. So pop that over there. The leaf, I ended up popping that up on foam before I put that down. And then I'm going to get the title adhered. I do end up popping the title up on foam. So he is actually, this guy, he loves being outside, and he is actually on top of a huge stick pile. So we have, because we live kind of out in the woods, we've got like a burn pit where we burn like a lot of wood and cardboard boxes and things like that. You burn stuff out in the country, burn a lot of trash. I mean, like not plastic and stuff like that. It's all cardboard and paper and stuff. But anyway, so we have this huge stick pile, and he climbs on top of it like it's Mount Everest, and you can tell how proud he is of himself for getting up there. But every time we're out there, he has to climb up that stick pile. So I got a couple pictures of him. This was last year, so on top of the pile of sticks. And then I'm just going to pop this part of the title on there. Get this fern down. And here are some close-up shots. I do end up adding some brads and then that lovely title up at the top, just to kind of add a little bit something else up there. Here are some more close-ups. And I appreciate you coming by to watch another process video. I appreciate likes and subscribes and comments. I really appreciate anybody who comes by to watch these process videos.